It's bustin' with natural cheddar cheese, savory beans, pure sour cream, lettuce, tomato, and spicy beef. Big Del Burrito. It's
All right. Let's go and get this started, man. Welcome to the Deadman Horror Show. I'm your host, Mr. Deadman. And in tonight's episode, this episode you're watching or listening to, we're going to be talking about the Blue Baby legend. This interesting urban legend that many people will disregard and think it's just a game, failing to realize that no, it's much more. While people will play it and you'll see YouTube videos where people will do it and they will act as if they're scared and nothing happens, people have lost their lives playing this game. People have died playing this game. I will tell you stories. I will tell you the origin of the Blue Baby. I'll then tell you how you can play this if you want. And then talk about the stories, the situations that you may not find, because it's hard to get the truth out there. Let's start with this. No sponsor for this episode. No sponsor. We're going to talk about the Blue Baby. We're going to get into it here. What is the Blue Baby? The Blue Baby legend. Similar to Bloody Mary, this paranormal game does originate from a story, does originate from a real life event. But the Bloody Mary game dates far back, whereas this game seems rather recent, like 1970s. However, there are some stories that say that no, it could go back to maybe 1950. Okay, but still pretty recent. In the story, it goes something like this. There's this mother. And by the way, there's going to be allergies. Allergies are horrible. And oh my God. Okay. There's this young mother who gave birth to a healthy, beautiful baby. And this baby had these beautiful blue eyes, majestic looking blue eyes. Now, this was a single mother, as the father, Philip, the baby daddy, had abandoned them, had abandoned the mom and the child, wanting nothing to do with them. And because the mother, the young mother, was also alienated from her own family because of a heroin addiction, an on and off heroin addiction that she had, struggled with it. She was alienated from her family because she would steal from them, and then they would try to help her out, and it just got worse. She had no one to go to. She had no support. No one's going to help her out. No one's going to give her support. And I think there's some sound in the background. Is that a blue baby? What's going on? You hear that? You hear that, right? Interesting. Anyway, this young mother had no support, no one to lean on. You combine that with a history of substance abuse and mental illness. She went through a very severe psychotic break where the mom, enraged, I should say, by the blue eyes of her baby, the blue eyes that reminded her of Philip, She shattered a mirror in the bathroom, took the broken glass, and cut out the baby's eyes, sliced them out of the baby's face. The eyes, the eyeballs, she sliced them out. And then that's not the worst part of it. The worst part of it, with the baby with the eye sockets bleeding, took it and flushed it down the toilet. Now, if you know anything about babies, this was a 5-pound baby. It wasn't going down the toilet easily. She put it in the toilet bowl head first. It drowned, submerged in the water. And she tried to flush it. The suction of which forced the baby's head into the pipe. Sort of. It got lodged. It got stuck in the toilet where the baby died. This mother, when the police, by the way, how did the police get involved in this? The mom didn't call for help. No, it was a neighbor. Someone in the apartment complex called for help. Concerned that there was this crying, this screaming. It's so absurd. Something unusual for that room, for that apartment. So when the police arrived, they found that the mom had taken her own life and that the baby's body was still in the toilet. And that is one of the stories, one of the origins for the blue baby. Another origin story, another one goes like this. That the mom was outraged by the blue eyes and just drowned the baby. Didn't slice the baby's eyes, but just drowned the baby in the toilet. Like flushing it down the toilet. Now, when people tell you that story, they, I think, fail to understand how hard it is to flush a baby down the toilet. It's not very easy to do. I don't recommend you try it. You could just take a baby doll and try to flush it down the toilet, and you're going to have a bad time. Okay, it's not going to actually flush. No, it's going to be horrible. It'd be horrible. Don't do it. Another story is that the mom, outraged by the blue eyes, the consistency here is outraged by the blue eyes. The mom is outraged by the blue eyes. Why? Because it reminds her of the baby daddy, of the man that abandoned her. The man who, he didn't look a thing like Jesus, but he talked like a gentleman, like she always imagined. And she was wooed. She was seduced. She was led on by all the beautiful things the man said. And he really wanted nothing to do with her other than the one night and not be around. So she was outraged by the blue eyes. And in this version, she just drowned the baby in a bathtub of water. Okay. So there's that. So the origin is important because it goes with how you play this game. How you play this very bizarre, strange, eerie, paranormal game. And it's not just a game. So what you do, and I should warn you, let me warn you here. I know you're probably going to play this game. I know you're going to try. There's nothing I can say to you that would convince you not to do it. You already made up your mind. I just ask that if you decide to play this game, that you write on a sheet of paper that you're playing Blue Baby and you put it in your pocket. That way, when the authorities find your dead body in the bathroom, they will know what happened, that you're playing Blue Baby. That way, your death won't be in vain, and that your death will actually could potentially help those and prevent them from wanting to play this game. With that said, Let's do this. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you are in a dark room. A bathroom is preferred because you need access to a toilet and a mirror. So the bathroom would be the best place to play this game. You can play it by yourself. If you really want to go for the challenge, you can play it by yourself. And at night, you go to the bathroom and you turn off the lights, lock the door, and then you face the mirror. You will then position your arms like you're cradling a baby and rock your arms back and forth. As you do this, you're going to feel something. You're going to feel a weight in your arms. Be extremely alert at this time because you will begin to feel scratching on your arms, ladies and gentlemen. You will feel scratching on your arms as you do this, if you do it right. And once you feel the scratching, you need to immediately drop the weight into the toilet and flush. Just drop it and flush. Then unlock the door and leave. If you successfully leave without being hurt, you're good. You're safe. However, if the baby scratched you and you fell to flush it down the toilet, let's say you dropped the baby and it hit the floor, this imaginary baby, this ghost baby, and it hit the floor, didn't make it into the toilet bowl, and you have to pick it back up and put it in the toilet, it is too late. A woman will appear, not maybe, but will appear. And this woman will demand her baby back. I understand, and the origin is the baby that she killed, but she regret that decision, which is why she took her own life, okay? She's going to demand her baby back, and you better give her the baby back. Otherwise, she's going to end your life. You're like, oh, no, this won't happen. This can never happen. Play it. But please write that note before you do, so that way when you pass on, which you will, it's not a maybe, that people will maybe have a chance to know that it was because you played this game. But that's a maybe, because even if the authorities find you dead in the bathroom with a note in your pocket, they might just say, you died because of a heart attack. Okay? You died of cardiac arrest. Okay? They're probably not going to do anything with the note. But it's just maybe. There's another way you can play this game, by the way. You can play with two people. And with two people, and this is the mode you want to play if you are afraid to do things on your own. If you're not a go-getter, if you don't like to take on challenges, hard, difficult challenges, if you're the sort of person who likes to play video games on easy mode, this is what you do, okay? All right? The people who are achievers, overachievers, they play the one-player mode, all right? The ones that are really good, they do that. The two-player version goes like this. At night, you go into the bathroom, turn off all the lights. The lights need to be off. You fog the mirror by breathing on it or with steam, turning on the shower or whatever, okay? And on the fog mirror, write baby blue. And you hold your arms like you're cradling a baby. When you feel a weight in your arms for a while, pass it to your partner. If you drop the weight, you'll get a scratch and only have a couple of chances to continue the game. Now, if this happens, you're in a very bad situation, okay? As long as you don't drop the weight, continue passing back and forth, then erase the words from the mirror. Like you'll be fine. The weight will get lighter. The weight of this invisible baby will start gradually going away, and then you won. But if you don't do that, if you fail to do that, like if you cradle it too long, or you pass it to your partner, but they fail to catch it because they don't know, because it's invisible, and it drops on the floor again, then you're going to have to deal with a woman saying she wants her baby back. I understand it's the same woman that drowned her baby or killed her baby, sliced her baby's eyes out, or whatever she did. Some very horrible things she did. But you better give it back. You better find a way to give that back. Otherwise, you're going to die. You will die. You better call your mom on the phone. Immediately be like, I'm sorry, Mom. I made a mistake. I'm going to die today. I play Blue Baby. I can't find the baby. I can't find the baby to give it back to the mom. So no. I was so serious, and I lost it. That was a little hyperbolic, though. Sometimes I like to test myself. How absurd can we get with these hypotheticals before it becomes kind of silly? Okay, because we all know when you're playing this game, you're not going to make a mistake. You guys are professionals. Now, there are stories or situations where people have played this game and it has not gone well for them. Sure, you can go on YouTube and find videos of people playing this game and nothing happens. It's very easy to find examples. People saying nothing happened. However, you could also find personal accounts of people being scared, and for good reason. You'll find stories and comments and blogs about this. You won't find news journals about this. You won't find news outlets talking about this because it's a little weird. And it would probably just increase the amount of people who play this game and the amount of the absurd disappearances, and not really disappearances. So let me get into the stories. Tim Robinson was the top of his high school year. He was the story is right here. He was a jock. He was a quarterback, an all-star quarterback. He had a promising future. Go to college. Already had a scholarship set up. He just had to graduate, finish his senior year and graduate, and it'd be off. Unfortunately, Tim did not get to enjoy that scholarship. Tim never went to college. Tim never played college ball. The reason why is because Tim died. Why did Tim die? He played Blue Baby. He thought it was a joke. He thought it was like nothing was going to happen. He read about it, according from his friends. He read about this stuff and thought it was absurd, and he thought it was going to be just a joke, just a prank, and he played it. The night before he died, or actually the night he died. The night he died, he had sent messages to his friends saying that he's going to play Blue Baby and that there's nothing wrong. It's just a game and everything's going to be okay. The next day, he was found dead in his bathroom. Authorities claimed heart attack. He also had these little scrapes on his arms. These little cuts. Not really cuts. They're like very, very superficial. But it did break skin. Imagine if a baby was really trying to claw at your arms. That's what was happening to Tim. And he couldn't get any help because he did it alone. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought it was a prank. He thought it was just a game. Unfortunately for Tim, it was not. And he died. Ashley in Santa Fe, Texas, thought it was just going to be fun to have a sleepover with a bunch of girlfriends. Unfortunately, it didn't go very well for them. Ashley didn't make it that night. Her friends survived. It goes something like this. They had a sleepover. And the sleepover, they're talking and gossiping about the boys and all whatever stuff they're talking about, you know. They bring up Bloody Mary. Thought it would be interesting. One other person brings up Blue Baby. They thought it would be interesting to play. And they start playing it. One thing leads to another. When they start playing it, Ashley decides she wants to do it solo. I mean, as these girls were playing the game, nothing was happening. They were doing the two-person way. Honestly, I don't know exactly because it could be they were all in the bathroom together, probably giggling and whatever and having fun of it, right? Making fun of this game, making light of it. But Ashley, from personal accounts, wanted to go solo with this game. So she did. She closed the door. She locked the door. Her mistake. But not her last mistake. Her last mistake would have been not flushing the baby down the toilet like she was supposed to when you play this game. For when she was saying baby blue, blue baby, baby blue 13 times, she was surprised that she felt a scratch. And instantly she, what the girls claimed they heard was actually screaming, like crying for help. And they heard a thud, the sound of like the sound of meat, like a hamburger patty hitting the ground. The sound of the baby hitting the ground. At that point, Ashley was screaming, and they were like, "You got to flush it. You got to grab the baby, and you got to flush it." But they couldn't open the door to help her. Ashley wasn't hearing any of it. Ashley was just screaming, panicking, was surprised that it even worked. And then they all heard this. They claim they all heard this sound of, "Give me back my baby." But not like that, but more like a woman saying it. Then, more screams. More screams and a harrowing sound that they have never heard before. They ran next door. They ran to the neighbor to get help. They ran next door to the neighbor to get help, to get something so they could break down the door. The neighbor helped with the crowbar, broke down the door. And inside was Ashley dead. She had cuts on her arms where she was bleeding from. And these cuts were not superficial. These cuts looked like someone had grabbed her and with nails, long nails, penetrated the skin, blood everywhere. Oh, not everywhere. The police ruled the death they didn't have anything to go with a homicide. To them, it looked like it was a cardiac arrest. So, fortunately for Ashley's friends, they were not charged or anything like that, so that was good for them. But just be careful when you play these games, because it can be quite real. But you do with this information what you will, because, you're going to make up your own mind. Are you brave enough to play this blue baby game? That's up to you. This is an AI Deadman? No, this is not an AI Deadman. Were they naked? No. I don't think so. I don't know. If it makes the story better, they were totally naked. No, these were high school girls. What? No. No. There's another story I heard about too. And this one was on school grounds. This is kind of interesting. So once again, it does involve girls. It's middle school. And I found this on a blog. It was quite interesting to me. So, yeah. I mean, they were playing this little game they thought it was going to be fun to do. Now, interesting about this was that when you play Blue Baby, they say it's supposed to be at night. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if it's at night or not, because they were playing around with this in the bathroom during school hours, and one of the girls didn't make it back to class. One of the girls was found dead, cold dead, in the bathroom, on the bathroom floor. Now, what is going on with this? Why did this happen? A sudden, the heart just stopping. Some may ask, was she doing drugs? Some may ask, how many boosters did she have? Some may ask, was there something wrong with her? Maybe she had some heart problems before then, a weak heart or something. An unhealthy heart. As far as I understand from what her friends say, no, she didn't have any issue with her heart. And she did take the vaccine. She got boosted. But they weren't doing drugs. Not that time. They were just playing Baby Blue Baby. They're playing it. And while playing it, she just fainted and just fell down, hit her head on the ground. Those girls ran screaming. So be careful when you play this game. Be really careful. But like I said, you'll do with this what you will. The Legend of the Blue Baby. Now, this is a very short and sweet, I don't know about sweet, but very short and grim, I should say, Deadman horror show. Next week. Oh, wait. Why wrap this up so fast? There's one more story. And this one's a doozy. This one's good. I'm going to continue this a little bit longer. So there's this woman named Julia, and this is interesting. Wait, back this up. I almost forgot to tell you. There's another thing that could happen. Okay, so when you play Blue Baby, it could be possible that a woman comes, or that you feel the baby's weight in your arms, and a woman comes to try to take the baby. That's one way that this could all manifest, if you do it accurately. However, there seems to be evidence to suggest that sometimes when you play this game, the baby may... I'll tell you it this way. When I heard this story, when I was in school, when I was in elementary school, when I heard about the Blue Baby legend, to me, what I was told was that the Blue Baby didn't actually appear in your arms, but the Blue Baby, well, it kind of emerged I will tell you. So when I was in school, you said blue baby, baby blue 13 times, and if you did it right, you would hear the sound of a baby crying. Then you would hear a rattle, and these sounds would get closer. These sounds would get louder. And if you're not fast enough to get out of there, rumor had it that the baby would kill you, would murder you with its rattle, because there was a spike on the rattle. Now this, I don't know of any stories where someone was murdered by a ghost baby conjured up through a paranormal game, because that would be something. But my last story for you is about the other way this manifests. When you play this game, there's a chance that if there's a child in your home, that child may become possessed by the spirit of the ghost baby. The ghost baby, the blue baby, that is enraged at its mom for cutting its eyes out and drowning it in a toilet bowl, trying to flush it. So your child that now possessed by this angry spirit will do everything it can to murder you. And I have a story here where Julia in the UK, a young mother, 21, thought it would be hilarious to play blue baby, baby blue, and the next day what happens? She dies. How does she die? Her two-year-old girl kills her. This is true. I have the article to show it. Not making this up. Let me show you this. And you're listening to this on the podcast feed. I'm presenting a news article that reads, Girl 2 accidentally killed mom by closing electric window as she reached into BMW. What is this? That is the girl, the 2-year-old girl, had murdered her mom with the BMW, and this girl was possessed by the spirit of the blue baby. Okay? Was possessed by the spirit of the blue baby, and when the mom was leaning into the car, reaching into the car for something, the baby rolled up the window right at the time for the window to go up the mom's neck, and the mom died. The mom died because the child, a 2-year-old, was possessed by an evil blue baby spirit. Be careful when you play this game. Be very careful when you play this game. Manu in the chat says the mom had it coming. Maybe. Because when you play... Honestly, you know what? Manu's right. When you play games like this, you forfeit. I mean, I was going to say you forfeit your life. What you're doing is you're taking a chance. You're rolling the dice on whether or not something... well, let me just put it bluntly. When you play a paranormal game like this, you're saying to the spirits, you're saying to whatever, ghosts or whatever, that you're willing to die. You are ready to die. You are ready for what happens next. But you may not be ready for what happens next, right? And from what I understand, this BMW was in one piece. It wasn't falling apart. That is good news. The windows did work, and unfortunately, though, is because the windows worked, which is why the baby was able to kill the mom. When I found this story, I was originally going to say, let's do an episode about toddlers that murder. But looking into the story, it seems like this mom was into playing paranormal games, like Blue Baby, Baby Blue, and there might be a connection there. So, yeah, very, very sad. Of course, you hear stories about toddlers, like with 2 or 3-year-olds, getting a hold of guns and shooting their kids, shooting their parents. That happens too. And sometimes the stories, it could be accidents. Sometimes the stories, maybe that child was possessed by the enraged spirit of the blue baby and wanted to murder its parent, or mom especially. Now, that is the final story I have here. That does conclude this episode. Just be careful. Just be really careful when you play this game. With that said, take it easy.